We are live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Great win. I loved it. Basically controlled the game pretty much start to finish. It was a hard fought battle, right? Utah kind of regained the lead there early in the third, and then the Lakers just took off. Handled their business, did what they were supposed to do. Closed out going into the big extended break. Now you could look at this two ways, one of two ways, I guess. The first way is that good. We close strong, you got momentum, get a nice little break, get a nice little cushion, kind of recoup your bodies, rest yourselves. LeBron and AD, yeah, they're gonna go to the All-Star break, but it's not what it used to be, right? The All-Star game is not this like highly competitive, everybody wants to prove that they're the best out there, type of situation, right? It's more lax, it's more entertainment, it's more fun, it's more just chilling, right? So they'll get some regroup, everyone gets to kind of rest, take things in. It's good. The other way you can look at this is like the Lakers have a ton of momentum right now, and do you really want to take 8 days off to potentially halt that and slow it down? Personally, I would rather have the 8 days off, right? We got several guys that are injured that we could really use coming back. It'd be nice to kind of let everybody, just kind of regroup, rest their bodies, that kind of thing. But I don't know. I mean, I love how this team is playing. And seriously, this team is playing the right way. They're playing excellent basketball. They're doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. They're playing the way that they should be playing. This is a team that, it's simple, right? When things are going the way that they should be going, right? The basketball isn't sticking. You're moving. Defense, we gotta do a better job on the defense side. We did do better towards the end, but they also started missing a lot of shots, right? Like we got to do a much better job of just, locking down defensively. Our offense is there. Our offense has been fantastic. A lot of that is moving the basketball, sharing the basketball, finding guys open, getting open looks, open shots, right? Passing up a good shot to get a better shot. Like those are the kind of things that go a long way and make the game of basketball so easy. Keeping the defense constantly in motion, keeping the defense constantly on their toes, putting them in uncomfortable situations, making them have to react. And, when you become predictable and it becomes a stagnant offense, it's in a lot of isolation and nonsense, then it's one of those things where it's like you run the risk of getting in a situation that we are in, right? Not too late to turn around. We have been turning around. We've been looking really good. We've won, 6 out of the last 7? So got to keep doing that. And the one loss is to the Denver Nuggets. So got to keep doing our jobs. Got to keep, like LeBron said, do your job, play your role, do your part. Basketball is a simple game if you play it correctly, right? And the Lakers have played it correctly, and look at what we're seeing. We're seeing the Lakers really start to turn things around. I mean, this team, if they and look, I don't want to get and harp too much on the defensive side of things, just because look, we're missing basically all of our defenders. Literally, we're missing Jared Vanderbilt, Cam Reddish, you're missing Gabe Vincent, and you're missing Max Christie. So basically, all of our top defensive players are all out. So I don't want to be too critical of the defense, but still, other guys got to step up in that area. We got to do a better job of just taking care of that side of things. Also, we still have the issue of giving up too many second chances. Got to do a better job of getting the defensive board. Stop giving up so many offensive rebounds. But regardless, again, I really do like how we're playing. I really do like how this team is clicking. Things are really coasting and grooving. And let's see. I know I wanted to jump into the box scores here, but this whole thing is all messed up. Everything's off. Yeah, it's still not updated. But okay, so we'll skip the box scores this time, even though I really wanted to get into the box scores because there were some nice ones, right? There were some really good stats for some of these guys, but a couple guys that we could touch on. Start with Rui Hachimura. Right, MVP of this game. He was ridiculous. Look, Anthony Davis was spectacular. It completely took over and dominated in that third quarter. But that's Anthony Davis, right? That's what Anthony Davis does. Not to sound unappreciated or unappreciative of Anthony Davis and what he's able to provide and what he does on a regular basis. Rui deserves the credit, right? And Anthony Davis would be the first to give Rui Hachimura that credit. Rui was he was unreal this game, hitting everything, super efficient. I love that he's not settling. I said this yesterday in the live stream, right? Like, I love, like, one of the things that has been really good about Rui lately is he's not, like, you'd see him last season and even early in this season where he would settle a lot. He'd get the ball and he would just like give it up, or he would just settle for the three or whatever. And you're seeing him not do that as much, right? You're seeing him starting to get the little pump fake, drive to the basket, that little spin move that he's been doing, being aggressive, being physical, using his size, his strength, his physicality to finish through contact. Those are the kind of things that I want to continue to see from Rui, right? Like, look, I've talked about this before. I truly believe Rui could be a 20 to 25 point a game guy if given the real opportunity, if given the real role. And every time LeBron's out, the dude gives you 17 plus. The dude averages like 20 a game when LeBron doesn't play. So when I was making videos in the offseason and I was talking about, hey, I can see Rui has the potential to be a 25-5 guy or whatever, right? And you look at the stat, you look at the numbers, you look at his efficiency, you look at the way he plays when LeBron isn't there, and it's like, yeah, that guy could definitely be that. Problem is just as long as LeBron's on this team, he's never really going to get that opportunity. Because, yes, in the regular season, playing the three, it's not as big of a deal. But I have concerns come the postseason of how Rui looks at the three. Because now you're talking Rui's going to have to defend guys like a Kawhi Leonard, like a Kevin Durant, like a Michael Porter Jr., right? Like these quicker, twitchier, veteran, athletic guys, and Rui struggles with that. So I'm curious to see how that translates. In the regular season, you can get away with that. Regular season, it's not as big of a deal. But my concern is the postseason. Like, are they going to be able to start Rui come the postseason? This team is what, 6-0, something like that with this starting group or whatever, or 5-0, something like that. Like, they've been really good with the starting unit. And look, I love what they're doing. Right? I like the way that Rui is just being aggressive and really just locking down and being focused. D'Lo, talk about D'Lo real quick. Put on an absolute clinic. Again, the stats on NBA.com aren't like updated. It's like super behind them. Keep trying to refresh so I could actually break it down a little better. But nonetheless, right? Like D'Lo, 17 assists. I know that, right? And he also finished with 11 points. The guy put on a clinic, an absolute clinic, just wheeling and dealing. I mean, some of those passes were just surging. Right. It was so good to see him, be unselfish, right? Because he could have found his shot. He could have easily went and dropped 20 this game if he wanted to. He only took 8 shots and shot 50% from the floor. Right. But he was smart. He picked and chose where to shoot. Right. Every time, you saw when he was in the game, Utah go on a little run, he'd come in. All right, let me hit this midi. Let me keep things in line. And I love that. I love seeing that regard, or him in that regard. Spencer Dinwiddie, just look, this is a game that I thought he could really just sort of pick up and show a little more of what he was capable of, which I thought he did to an extent. I would have liked him to be a little more aggressive, but I get it. It's a second game, right? Second game of his Laker tenure. But he was 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. He finished with 10 points, 4 assists. So he shot efficiently. He pick and chose his spots. He did a really good job. I like what you're seeing. All the things that you want to see from Spencer Dinwiddie, you've seen these last 2 games. His ability to get after it on the defensive side, his ability to finish through contact, his ability to finish and get to the rim, his ability to hit the mid-range, his ability to knock down the 3 ball, his ability to make plays and get others involved, right? His ability, especially playmaking wise, is going to be so huge come like once everyone's healthy, him off the bench in that role, in that playmaker role. I think he's just really going to thrive. And I mean, look, this is a guy that he's been excellent in the postseason. So, he's a guy that's going to show up come playoffs. I mean, they even said it, Stu said it like in the vein where he was like, hey, this is a guy that had 30 in a game 7 against the Phoenix Suns, right? Like, he's a guy that can get after it, score the basketball, do multiple things, play on both sides. I love seeing that stuff. Austin Reaves, the stats aren't coming up, but he was solid, hit some big shots, some nice passes. That beauty to Anthony Davis was just absolute money. I love seeing that. But again, just point is, overall, this was just a very solid game. I loved what we saw from this team as a whole. Again, regroup, take it in, and then get back on track and do what you need to do come the second half of the season, post All-Star break. But anyway, let's get into all of your super chats, all of your regular questions, all of those things. Also, real quick, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also, just in case, save time. Let's just assume I know everything. My shout outs to my beautiful woman. It's Valentine's Day. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, babe. Love you. She watches the live stream, so yeah, try to get some brownie points, But yeah, she said she saw this shirt and thought of me immediately, and I was like, I'm gonna wear it on the live stream because let's save time. Assume I know everything. Perfect. Now there we go. But anyway, shout out to her. She's the better half of myself, so very blessed. But dive into it. Let's get into it. Love how the team is playing. Agreed. Again, just sharing the basketball, playing the right way, doing the things. Got to pick it up on the defense side a little better. But again, almost all of our defensive problems or all of our defensive players are out. So I'm not going to be too critical. But LeBron, no problem. Favorite candy at stands, Reese's. Give me some Reese's in a Dr. Pepper. Not sponsored, by the way, but Dr. Pepper, hey, reach out. Reese's and Dr. Pepper. If either of them want to sponsor, I will gladly take it. I don't even need money. Just give me unlimited supply of Dr. Pepper and Reese's and we money. Suddenly, Lakers offense looks top 1. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what happens when you play the right way, right? It's a very simple thing. I've said it all season, right? When the Lakers get multiple guys in double figures, 4, 5, 6 guys double figures, the ball's moving, it's not sticking, you're getting up in 30 plus assists. Let's see if the stats still remain true. So this, again, NBA is off. Let's try to refresh again. I don't know why, but it's still has all the stats with 3 minutes left in the fourth, which the game's been over for a while now. But at that point, they had 30 assists. So let's say that they even had 31 assists. Every time the Lakers have more than 30 assists, they win the game. They had, 2 guys almost in double figures. They had one. Come on. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in double figures and 1 guy close. So again, and that's with the team that only had that was missing 7 guys. So holding Laurie to 3 points is crazy. Yeah. I mean, handle business, good win. Yes. He was the defense assignment too. Nuggets lost again. They're always playing game 7 they love to beat the Lakers, right? That's literally their Super Bowl. Rui was phenomenal. Love to see it. Yes, agree. Rui was massive. Rui's so much better than Prince. Yeah, absolutely. Trade LeBron. We got Rui. No, I wouldn't go that far, but Rui's been fantastic. Bad break. Hopefully, don't come back rusty. Yeah, that's definitely a concern, right? As I mentioned earlier in the stream, look at it one of two ways. Either like, hey, this is good for the team. They can kind of regroup, rest, get back on track, close out February strong, and then get into that brutal March. Or you can look at it the other way, where it's like, yeah, this could potentially halt momentum. But I hope that it's the latter. Said Ham only utilized Rui when he has no choice. But again, that's the problem though, is that like when LeBron's in the like LeBron's gonna play a majority of the minutes. You're not playing Rui over LeBron. You're not giving the ball more times than Rui over. Like when LeBron's not in the game, like again, Rui can shine, Rui can thrive. I don't think it has anything to do with Darvin Ham. I just think it has to do. Look, I have been super vocal about I hate the way Darvin Ham utilizes Rui, right? I do agree to an extent that like the situations in which they put Rui in, I think aren't the best to utilize him. I mean, even in this game, right? Like get him on the block more. The guy's killing it. He's been a mismatch all game. Put him in position to have success. But a lot of it is not on Ham. It's just Rui is best at the four, for one, and two, how much opportunity is he going to get when LeBron's in the game? When he's going to go get his 25. He's going to get his 15 to 20 shot attempts. There's just so many attempts, and Rui kind of is the last in line. So I don't really think it's just Ham only utilizing Rui when he doesn't have a choice. I think it's Rui taking advantage of LeBron not being in the game, and he's a guy that now you need him. Right? You don't need him as much when LeBron's in the game. You just need him kind of in spots. So I just think it's a different situation. Rui did ball out. LeBron, who, let's see, Rui showed a strength of all. Man, I'm not expecting this to be a norm, but it's more than welcome. I mean, not what did he have, like 36 or whatever? Not 36, but I mean, this is absolutely a guy that I believe could get you 20. Like if we didn't have LeBron James, I fully believe Rui could go give you 20 a game or average 20 a game, right? Like, so we'll see. Do we beat the Warriors on the 22nd? In my opinion, we got to beat them. Guys, say it with me. Thank you, Washington. Did Washington actually pull it off? I know it was tight at one point. Did Washington actually pull it off? I hate that this stupid like ESPN and NBA, at least on my end, I don't know what is going on, is not updating for me. It sounds like they lost. Did they lose? I don't know. Lakers don't need LeBron. Send him back to Cleveland. Right out loud. The Lakers absolutely need LeBron. Wow, just imagine if they played like this every game. Yeah, I mean, they have been lately. I mean, they've been averaging like 126 points or something like that the last like 7 games. What's going on, Daniel? The thing that I hate about wins like these without LeBron is that everyone jumps on the train of trade LeBron. We are better without him. If we played the Nuggets without LeBron, we're getting blown out. Yeah, again, it's people want to just say stuff. I get it. We're not a better team without LeBron James. We're just not, especially come the postseason, right? We are bare minimum a first round exit without LeBron. With LeBron, we have a chance to actually win the whole thing. It's a big difference. Let's see. Just box score watch. You try to go through all the playoffs without LeBron. Yeah, see the result. Yeah. Great game, man. Yeah, agreed. So glad to not hear from Dulanskin and his insane awful cliches. Great to see Rui play like this, but it still won't change my opinion on his fit. Yeah, I mean, again, if he was a slender 3 that could get through screens and guard threes, it'd be fine. I wish he was built like Kuzma. Yeah, unfortunately, he's just not, right? I said it before. Long term, I love the idea of keeping Rui. Like post LeBron, love the idea of keeping Rui. But LeBron's probably going to be on this team for another 2 years, right? I just think, for Rui's sake, you trade him because I'd like to see him shine and thrive in the right situation on the right team. And I just think he's a valuable trade chip that you could utilize to, kind of be more win now. Why does everyone hate Stu Lance? don't know. I have no problems with him, but just another game that proves Ham sabotaged the season by starting Prince. I don't think it was necessarily that, but you know, um, look, Darvin Ham was terrible, or has been terrible at times. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of it's been in and out of injuries and stuff. Like, I get the obsession with Prince, but I don't think it's that serious. We keep dominating. Yes, is the Washington Wizards winning? I don't know. Like I said, I can't. Like, it's not updating or refreshing, at least on my end. I tried it on my phone. I tried it on the thing. It's just not coming up. It's a lose-lose situation with LeBron. The team wins without him. They say they're better without him. Trade him now. If they lost this game without him, all blame would have went to LeBron. Yeah, of course. But that's part of being great, right? Everyone, even the people that are screaming we're better with LeBron, don't truly believe we're better with LeBron. And if they do, then they're lost. I don't know what to tell them. Hey everyone, been a minute. Rui career high. What's going on? I appreciate you. Yes, and Rui was fantastic. Dinwiddie is good. Dinwiddie haters and shambles. Oh, and we got Andrew coming out, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. We need to keep Rui at the 3 and figure out the D. The problem is that, like, I just, during the regular season, I fully believe you can get away with it. I do. I wholeheartedly believe it the entire season. I think in some matchups, depending on who you're playing, I think you can get away with it. My concern is once you get to the postseason and you start playing those good teams, they're going to target him. They're going to put him in pick and roll action after pick and roll action after pick and roll action. They're gonna just constantly switch on him. They're gonna force him to navigate screen. Like, I just, like, my concern is Austin Reeves is going to be a target for teams, and then also Rui is going to be a target for teams. And how long can you survive when you have two guys on the court that are constantly getting targeted? And that's not even mentioning D'Lo, right? I mean, D'Lo's been serviceable. He's been much better defensively this year than he has his entire career. But he's not like great or elite or anything like that. I just think at some point, come the postseason, right, you're probably going to have to start Vando. You're probably going to have to get Vando back in the starting unit because you're going to need his defense. And then you just make adjustments accordingly. Or that you start Rui. If things start getting a little out of hand, you make that switch and you get Vando in immediately. I just don't trust Darvin Ham to make that judgment call at the right time, right? Where it's like, okay, like clearly Rui's getting exposed here. We need to get him out the game and get some defense, right? That's my concern. I mean, Rui's offense has been electric. It's been so good for us. But I just don't. Again, you can get away with it in the regular season. I just don't believe you can get away with it in the postseason. But time will tell. Hopefully. We'll see. Again, certain matchups, if you play like the Thunder, maybe you get away with it. Maybe even the Timberwolves, stuff like that. But I just, like, do you want Rui guarding like a Paul George or a Kawhi Leonard? Probably not. Do you want him guarding a Kevin Durant? Probably not. I mean, in the postseason, right? Probably not. Like, let's see. He makes secondary unit and rotation so much smoother. Agreed. Dinwiddie's playmaking is awesome. He's going to be a big help, big time. Yeah, that's going to be his most impactful part. Let's see. Lakers still 7th, right? The Kings and Mavs winning, or they're still 9th, I believe. Even with this win, because the Kings and the Mavs. Well, the Kings have kind of been hot and cold lately, but the Mavs keep winning. I know that. Last I saw, the Mavs were up like 30. That's the problem. That's the issue when you get behind, right? Lakers are playing great, but you dug yourself in such a deep hole. Not only do you have to win, you need these other teams to lose, right? We need the Clippers to beat the Warriors. Kings ended up beating the Nuggets, which is not good. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, these teams just keep winning, so puts us in a rough spot. Suns are gonna win if they haven't already. Like I said, this thing is not like refreshing properly. Pelicans won. Yeah, everyone kept winning, which again sucks. So we're still 3 games out. We're 3 games. We're 3 games out of 6 still, and we are 3.5 games out of 5th. 3.5 games out of 5th and 3 games out of 6th. It's not a ton to make up, but it's still a lot. right? You still, because not only do you have to win, you need the other teams to lose. How was Dinwiddie? Dinwiddie was solid. He really was. I'm looking forward to seeing him be a little more aggressive, but he was great. Um, the Lakers have turned a corner without a lot of depth. Rob is looking like genius for not trading D'Lo and signing Spencer. Big props all around. Haters keep hating and whining. Rui and AD, they were fantastic, fantastic. D'Lo for Murray would have left us with two. It would have been pretty nice to add instead of replace. Rui was ridiculous. They don't want the Lakers making it to the playoffs because you know how good they are. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily that. I mean, the Lakers did this to themselves, right? Don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment telling this Rudy Poo is what's on your mind. Yeah, facts. Appreciate you, Buck. You always put it so elegantly. Let's see. Let me ask these clowns who trained Rui last offseason exactly. All Rui has done is talked about how much LeBron James has helped him. They seem to always play good against us. It is cool. I'm telling you, every time they play us, it's game 7. Every time. Bobby coming out $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Nets didn't want Rui for Dorian Finney-Smith. Now look, 50 point L. Yeah. No, I mean they turned down 2 first-round picks for Dorian Finney-Smith, which makes no sense. Like, I mean, assuming the report is true, you never really know what is actually true and what's just put out there just to put out there. But if that's true, they really gave up. If they really turned down 2 first-round picks for Dorian Finney-Smith, and look, not all firsts are equal, but come on, man. Like I like Dorian Finney-Smith, but he's not worth that. Like you get 2 firsts for a 30-year-old role guy. Like, come on. But hey, teach their own. There's a reason. Like, there's a reason the Nets are in the position that they're in, right? Not well managed, not well figured out. Teams are bad for a reason. Chicken nuggets. I take Rui trying hard over Prince. I mean, I would too in the starting lineup, but my thing is like, when everyone gets back, you got Vando, you got Reddish, you got I just think at some point you're gonna need the defensive help and the defensive size come the postseason. He's our best option. If you're saying you can't start Rui in the postseason, then you can't start Vando or Cam either. Of course you can, because you need the defensive help. That's the whole point. Rui doesn't give you the defensive help. He gives you the scoring, which is great, right? But you saw even in since this starting unit's come, we can't get stops. We can't strength. I mean, Utah was just running by us the entire time, right? And that's a problem. Our offense has just been so good, right? We're just basically outscoring teams right now. But our defense hasn't been great, right? And once you get to the postseason, teams are going to target that. The good teams look for every advantage that you can find, every advantage that you can have. And you already have one disadvantage in Austin Reeves on the defensive side. D'Lo, again, is okay, but he's not great or by any stretch of the imagination. LeBron James, we'll see what he does on the defense side come the postseason. Is he locked down? Is he able to defend? But even then, got the other side. Right? You don't think teams are going to target D'Lo or target Rui? Of course they will. Right? But Vando, you can't target Vando. Vando's too good defensive. Right? You're gonna be in trouble. You're gonna be in that spot. I mean, you talk about one of the best on-ball defense players in the league, if not the best. It's a big difference, right? And then you have D'Lo and Reeves and Dinwiddie and LeBron and Anthony Davis and Rui and all these other guys that, they can plug in and generate the offense. Let's see. I don't like the overreacting to regular season wins against mid-level teams, but I got to admit, this one felt different. This one felt really good. Look, I said it yesterday, said it again today. It's not so much, yes, it's the Detroit Pistons and the Utah Jazz. I get it. But it's how we're winning, right? If we beat Detroit, right? If it was like how the Celtics played them not too long ago, where they're, Lakers were down 26 and they came back and won, right? It's not a good win to me, right? But like with the Jazz, with the Pistons, we won playing the right way. We dominated the game. We showed that we are just that far away better. Like that's what's supposed to happen. You play the bad teams, you blow them out, right? The good teams blow out the bad teams. Yes, on any given night, there's a game here and there, where something, the ball just doesn't fall the right way or whatever. But to me, it's how the Lakers have been winning, right? They're winning the right way. They're not winning by like tight games where they're just, it's stagnant. Like they're building the good habits that you want to see them build. Let's see. Got to give a credit for that growth. Yes. Let's see what else. Rui gave us a little glimpse of possibilities of life after LeBron. Yeah. I'm telling you, if he keeps working on, like Rui's smart, right? Right now, he's taking advantage. He's being a student of the sport, being LeBron James's, pupil and stuff, and just soaking everything in. And you're seeing that progression. You're seeing him get better. You're seeing him grow. Not many guys get to play the same position as LeBron and get to learn from LeBron, right? Like, so you're talking about, you want to talk about an advantage, right? However you feel about LeBron, he's one of the smartest, if not the smartest guys to ever play the game. And he's one of, if not the greatest players to ever play the game. And Rui gets to learn literally front and center every day by LeBron James. I mean, that's huge for him. He should only improve. He should only get better if assuming he sticks around. I mean, we'll see, what the Lakers do. Lakers trying to target another star or whatever. We looking good. We are looking good. Vando should be getting reevaluated soon. Yeah, so he's supposed to be getting reevaluated post All-Star break. Everyone is. All the guys are supposed to. Dinwiddie is a smart basketball player. We needed him to have too many players yet. It's ultimately him not understanding rotations. Yeah, I mean he's been a little better, but yeah, he's had some issues this year, which I do have a concern when everyone gets back and healthy. I'm not concerned about our defense at all. We're legit missing our 4 best perimeter defenders. Yeah, which is why I said earlier, like I'm not going to get too much on it on the defense side, but I like to see us pick it up with these guys so that way our top defense players can kind of just come in, plug in, and we're ready to go. Rui is a real floor spacer. Vando isn't. No more 4 versus 5s. Yeah, but that's the problem is like, again, come the postseason, teams are trying to me, it's just like, okay, you can make an argument either way, right? The offense is flowing. Can they get the stops to stay ahead? If you go with Vando, then your defense is better. Can you score the basketball enough to stay ahead? If my thing is that if D'Lo continues to play the way he's playing, and if Austin Reeves come the postseason can pick it up and kind of become Austin Reeves of last season, then you don't need Rui's offense as much as you need Vando's defense because you have 4 guys that are going to be able to dominate. You also know LeBron James and Anthony Davis are going to pick it up come the postseason. They're going to elevate. They're going to play better. So I just think you're going to need those advantages where you can have it. The problem last year, right, was only the Denver team. Vando was fine in the other 2 series. It was Denver. But you also got to keep in mind, D'Lo completely disappeared. LeBron James looked like a shell of himself because he needed foot surgery. And Anthony Davis had a foot injury that he was dealing with and stuff. Like, what does that look like healthy in the postseason, right? Like, so I just think teams are going to look for ways to exploit the Lakers. And you already have Austin Reeves on the defensive side of things. Again, it looks okay in the regular season because teams aren't really like about that. And you're playing the mid teams and you're playing these teams that they're not trying to give away their secrets and stuff like that. They want you to believe that Rui's the answer and you're the best team in the league now with Rui in the starting 5. So that way, when you get to that, who would you trust more, right? Rui not getting exposed by Denver or Vando in that starting unit if LeBron James and Anthony Davis can be LeBron James and Anthony Davis, right? Like that's where the problem was. And Rui's offense isn't going to be as prominent when LeBron's there and D'Lo's cooking and AD's picking it up. And the entire game plan is to give the ball to LeBron and AD because they're your two best players and we're in the postseason. So now Rui's just standing in the corner again. Yes, being a 3-and-D threat. I'd rather Vando be that. Whatever he gives you on the offensive side is great, but we need his defense. Again, maybe it works fine. It very well could. We don't know. We won't know until we get there. And Darvin Ham is probably going to run with that once we get there. It could be totally okay, right? The offense could be clicking. Everything could be good. Rui may be able to hold his own. But I have my concerns if you go up against a team, like I said, like the Suns, where now he has to defend Kevin Durant. Like, is Rui really going to give you enough offensive firepower to offset Kevin Durant? Probably not. Right? So to me, it's like at least Vanderbilt can wear him down, make things difficult, make things tough on him, right? Make him actually have to work. You're already going to have to worry about Bradley Beal and Devin Booker just destroying Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell, right? Now you have a 3 mismatch to 2, right? I have my concerns. Again, it depends on the matchup. It depends on what it is. But, I mean, again, time will tell, right? Again, like my default to my shirt. To save time, let's assume I know everything, right? But, no, in all seriousness. I mean, again, time will tell. We'll see. As far as I'm concerned, Gabe isn't on the team. I like Dinwiddie's game with the Lakers. Yeah, he's huge. He's going to be huge for this team. Just his playmaking ability, you've seen everything you want to see from him. Another reminder that we need to win to take a picture of Dinwiddie with the dollar in the NBA Finals trophy. I'm telling you, if the Lakers win the championship and somebody doesn't hand Spencer Dinwiddie $1, that is such an underutilized opportunity. Max is a puppy. It's big boy time. He'll be all right. Yeah. Max Christie's 20 years old. There's a lot of time for him. Ball was moving tonight. Yes. Deserving a long break for the Lakers. Yes. I actually personally like it. Appreciate you. But, the hearts. The hearts. I'll take Vando back, yeah. Maybe Reddish. The rest can stay on the IT or IR. They paid him too much, though. It depends on what Rui becomes post LeBron. It depends on how long LeBron is there. Vando is the only rotation player as far as I'm concerned. I'm not sure if y'all seen Gabe Vincent in the last NBA Finals. He is a dog. Yeah, we need Gabe Vincent, assuming he can get back to being there. Can somebody please tell me who was the left with the red Kobe's that was making shots for us? I've never seen him or heard news of adding anyone. I thought he was cool. In the red Kobe's. I'm trying to think of who was in red Kobe. Might have been you're talking about Spencer Dinwiddie. Was it Spencer Dinwiddie? Because the only new guy that the Lakers have is Spencer Dinwiddie. Trying to think. They used Dylan Windler for a little bit early on. The box score has been glitching yet. It's been all jacked up, but it's all right. It's okay. Big win. Yep. What's going on, Isabel? Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you. Also, Jazz fake comeback. Yeah, I didn't think they were coming back. I really did. Lakers were playing too good. We needed the Nuggets win, bro. I agree. Would have been a nice, huge win. Yes. Now, Reese's and Dr. Pepper is nasty work. We were like this. You and me we were like this, and you hurt me. That's what you did. You just hurt me. I thought we were like this, but apparently I don't know what I did to you. Now you're coming at me, breaking my heart. It's a Valentine's Day. God. What type of combo is that? Chocolate and soda at the same time? Yes, chocolate and soda at the same time. God, it's like you're purposely trying to hurt me. And that I don't know what I did to you. Thought we were boys. Man, we had a great spasm. There we go. Man, we had a great team win. We've been looking good. D'Lo said was about to change, face adversity all year and still play team ball. Yeah, play the right way. You are good. play the right way, you're gonna get some wins. Dr. Pepper is for savages. Facts. Facts. Like, see, that could have been an ad, Dr. Pepper. See, what are you doing? You're missing out. You're missing out. Look. Just play Rui at 3 and adjust your schemes to help them defend. But the problem is like you still need defensive guys to do that. like, like if you're constantly having to send help to 2-3 guys, like you only have so many guys on the court. He does look like Dr. J though. It's the hairstyles, bro. My worry is when everyone is healthy, how will the rotation look? That's definitely a concern of mine as well. Right? Is Darvin Ham going to be able to get that rotation nice tight? We ain't worried about Golden State for real. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Ham just said he gave Rui the green light. Good, and he should. When he's in the game, let him go. Here's the issue: the team. I want to see the role players, Reeves, D'Lo, Rui, play like this against contenders with LeBron and AD. Yeah, but the problem is their roles change, right? Like when LeBron and AD are in the game, they're not on the court to go give you 30, 20, and 20, right? Like they're on the court to be complements to LeBron and AD rather than the star. They're when LeBron or AD isn't there, they're the stars of the movie, right? But as soon as LeBron and AD are there, guess what? Now there's supporting characters, right? And that's the thing. Rui showed up at the rim on defense. Only team I'm really scared of in the Nuggets. Agreed. I fully believe that the Lakers can beat and should beat everybody else, but I do have concerns about that. Washington fake comebacks. Sorry for the spoilers. It's tough. I love your work, bro. Second best Laker channel on YouTube by far. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. Seriously. Thank you. I'll take number 2. I'm fine with that. Hopefully one day I'll be number 1. You got to start somewhere, right? I'm the rookie, or this is my second year, right? So last year was my rookie year. We in the second year. We coming. We ready to take over the league. That's what we doing. Dinwiddie's making a difference without a doubt, and he will continue to make a difference. Too bad it's the All-Star break because Lakers are hitting the stride. Yes, which is definitely concerning. Like I said earlier, it depends on how you want to look at it, right? You can look at it one way where it's like, okay, if this team could really use the break with all the injuries and all that stuff, kind of let everyone regroup, everyone kind of rest their bodies and whatnot. Or you can look at it as like, hey, the Lakers are cruising right now. Let them take off and go. It showed this type of aggressive play, Bron. I will definitely feed him the ball. Yes, the Lakers are finally picking it up, winning momentum, and so is everyone else. Yeah, of course they do. Yeah, which is tough. It's tough. We just had all starters score 20 with LeBron. What are y'all on about? Look, there are outlier games. Okay, like what is the regular product again? Postseason is not the regular season. There's two very different things, and I saw you said the data. Like we've played like 5 games with this unit, like and we've in most of them outside of like Denver, it's been not great team. Like again, let's let things marinate. It's not just jump to, oh, we're the best team in the league. This is the best unit. Everything's great. Like, sometimes you got to let things play out. Again, as I said, maybe it works fine and it's great, but I have my concerns. I have my reservations. You might not have those concerns and reservations, which is fine. You're not wearing this shirt, okay? But no, but in all seriousness, like, it's just, again, who knows? We've had a 5-game sample size, and 3 of those 5 games have been against teams that we should have beaten with you and me in the starting unit. Like, so let's let things marinate a little bit. Let's see how things play out. Oh, sorry, darn it. There we go. All right. We back. Sorry, trying to find something to me. Dinwiddie is making a difference. The box score doesn't go wild, but the impact is there. And I love when Rui steps up like this. Filled LeBron shoes well today. Yes, facts, without a doubt. And you got to love what Dinwiddie's doing. Agreed. And he should only improve. He should only get better as things progress. They're not touching playoffs without LeBron effect. It was the damn mask. Yeah, right. That's had to be it. Rui needs to figure out how to do the little things without the ball, how to get starter minutes. Yeah, he'll get there. Bron not gonna be on the team for another W years. We will see. I mean, yeah, we will see. I believe LeBron will be here for at least another year or two. I love Rui Trust. But his fit is not it, man. The way he's getting shifted by threes and lack of ability to get around screens is limiting him. Yeah, he's just it's a problem, and teams aren't even like capitalizing on it. Right? Wait till teams really navigate that. Prince can't, but that's why I mentioned you have like Jared Vanderbilt, who that should be the guy. So Reddish or Vanderbilt starting. Personally, I'd go with Vando. I mean, assuming he comes back. If he doesn't come back, then you kind of have the choice that you have, but we'll see. Rui will get exposed playing the three for sure, which is my concern come the postseason. It does. I definitely have a concern come the postseason. Tyler Spin. LeBron isn't exactly a great defender either. He's not, but he also, when he's locked in and focused, he's actually been very good this year. He's holding like opponents to like 40% when he actually plays defense. Let's see. Andrew coming out $2 super chat. Who are you worried about for Rui's D at 3? Anybody with quickness and twitchiness. I mean, teams, period. Right? Because what's going to happen when you get to the post? I mean, obviously, individual matchups. Again, Kevin Durant, Michael Porter Jr., Kawhi Leonard, or Paul George. I mean, that's 3 of the top 6 teams. You're going to play 1, if not 2 of those. Right? I'm not really worried. Like the Timberwolves, McDaniels, I think Rui will be fine. He can hold his own against. The Oklahoma City Thunder, I think you'd be fine. You'd be able to hold your own against. If we played the Warriors, right? Andrew Wiggins, he's not great, but hey, every time Rui's been on him, he's torched them, right? But it's more so of what teams will do, because teams aren't just gonna only ISO Rui. They're gonna run him in a lot of pick and roll actions. He's not good at navigating over those screens. He's not good at fighting over those screens. Teams are going to target him. You see them do it with Austin Reeves. They're going to already do that with Austin Reeves come the postseason. And now you're going to have Rui too. So if the Lakers make the adjustment to help Austin Reeves, guess what? Well, now you're doing that. We're just going to come over here. And if you go and shift over here, then we're just going to come back over here. And it's too many points of liability, which is the problem, right? Where if you insert Jared Vanderbilt, now you just exalt like almost all of it. Because now he can navigate those screens. He can get over the top. He's going to fight over it. He can switch on a big or a small or whatever, and he can stay in front of both, right? Like, it's just a big difference when you have Jared Vanderbilt. And again, assuming LeBron James and Anthony Davis are healthy, they're going to pick it up come the postseason, right? Like right now, they're playing great. Don't get me wrong, but we know LeBron healthy he's going to be more locked in. He's going to be more focused. He's going to be, more aggressive, right? Especially if he needs to be. Anthony Davis, same thing, where everything's going to run and flow through Anthony Davis anyway. Teams are going to try to prepare for that. If D'Lo continues to play the way he's playing right now, they're not going to be able to defend Anthony Davis the way he is with his playmaking ability and his ability to shoot. And then Austin Reeves, you're hoping he gets back to being Austin Reeves that he was in last year's postseason. And now you have more than enough offense in the starting game. If you need to interject the different offense, then fine. You inject the Rui or a Prince or whomever that you have to if you need to make that adjustment. I just worry that half, if not 70% of the matchups, maybe even all of them, depending on where the Lakers fall and everyone falls. I mean, every matchup might be a terrible matchup for Rui. But could you imagine them? Rui's defending Michael Porter Jr. You make Michael Porter Jr. set a pick, and now Rui's got to navigate that. I mean, think of how much Denver torches us already. It's going to be bad. Like, again, maybe it won't be a problem. We will see. But I think that Rui's defense is going to be a problem. And I just don't think his offense is going to be enough come the postseason when everyone's elevating, when the tide rises for this team, where his offense is going to be enough in the starting unit, right? In a bench role where he gets more focus on the offensive side and he can come in and he can shoot and has the green light and can do whatever he wants, then I think he would have more of an impact. That's where I'm at with it, right? I just think you move Rui to the bench, you insert Jared Vanderbilt. Now you got that nice balance of defense and offense. Assuming Jared Vanderbilt, he's healthy. If Jared Vanderbilt isn't healthy and you end up not having him for the postseason, then at that point, you might as well just take your chances and roll the dice with Rui. But if Jared Vanderbilt is healthy come the postseason, I think you're going to have to, at some point, I think Darvin Ham, because Darvin Ham will probably stick with Rui to start the postseason, especially if the Lakers continue to play the way that they're playing. But I'm telling you, the month of March is going to tell us a lot, right? Because the month of March, you got a lot of just tough matchups. Rui's going to end up having to defend guys like, a Chris Middleton and a Harrison Barnes and guys like that, right? Those aren't Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George. Those aren't like the top guys in the league that we're going to have to, Michael Porter Jr. and all that stuff, right? So if he struggles with that, which we've already seen him have struggles, and since he's been in the starting unit, there's concern there. My point is that there is concern. Against Timberwolves and Thunder, yeah, but definitely not against most teams in the West. But yeah, his offense is really nice to have, improves our overall offensive talent. Yeah, it absolutely does. But also, there's going to be much more folk like the postseason. Teams are packing the paint and trying to close out on 3-point shooters, right? Like the Lakers have enough firepower to kind of offset that, assuming everybody, again, depends on what you're getting from everyone else, right? When nobody else shows up except for Austin Reeves on the offensive side of things, and you have Jared Vanderbilt in the starting unit, then yes, Denver runs through you, and now you have to move Jared Vanderbilt out of the starting unit. But if we're going under the assumption that, hey, if this team's healthy, D'Lo, Reeves, LeBron, and AD continue doing what you're doing, then you're going to need Jared Vanderbilt, right? Like you looked at the first two series, Jared Vanderbilt worked because Anthony Davis and LeBron James and D'Lo and Austin Reeves were much better than they were in the Denver series. As soon as they tapered off on the offensive side, Vanderbilt became a liability. But he wasn't a liability in those first two games. He was huge for us in the first two rounds. Huge for us in those first two rounds because the offense was there. We were able to score enough. We were able to navigate things and kind of offset Jared Vanderbilt. He brought a nice balance to this team. We got into the Denver series and guys weren't picking it up the way that they were, right? LeBron didn't look like LeBron. So it really just made Jared Vanderbilt a liability at that point because it's like we need that offensive injection. So again, we will see. Again, it depends on the matchup, depends on certain things, but definitely concerned. Jared's offense is a bigger issue than Rui's D. I disagree because you have plenty of offensive firepower, right? Andrew, let me ask you this. Healthy LeBron and AD. Do you think that they stay the same or do you think they get even just a hair better? Hair better, right? You don't think LeBron is going to be better in the postseason than he is in the regular season when the whole idea is for him to kind of, coast through the regular season to get healthy and stay healthy come the postseason, right? So do you believe that LeBron James and Anthony Davis will be slightly better? Okay, second question. Do you think Austin Reeves come the postseason will be slightly better? Even if it's just a couple points, right? Just slightly better, right? This is a guy that has shown he improves in the postseason. Do you think he'll be slightly better? Do you think, let's say D'Lo, not even slightly better. Let's say he just is average what he is. Let's say he's not even as good as he is right now. He just is his 17 and 6 self, right? Because right now he's averaging like 28 or whatever, right? Maybe not so much now because he had 11, but let's call it 25. Let's say he doesn't average 25. Let's say he gets back to 17, which would be a significant drop, right? So if you think LeBron will be better, AD will be better, D'Lo will be slightly, a 40% drop worse, but Austin Reeves will be better, then you need Jared Vanderbilt. Because Jared Vanderbilt, now you have the offense to offset Jared Vanderbilt, right? You need to be scoring is great, right? But all it takes is one cold night and everything changes, or one cold quarter and everything changes. At least Jared Vanderbilt, you know what he's going to bring. I just think if LeBron and AD do what they're supposed to do, which that's why superstars, right? They pick it up when it matters. So if they pick it up and then you add in Austin Reeves, he's not a superstar, but he's been a guy that elevates, right? Boom, he picks it up. You have, D'Lo, again, let's say because people have concerns about him in the postseason, right? He was injured last season, but hey, right? Injuries don't matter. Let's say he's bad. I think you'll have enough offense, you'll have enough firepower to where it won't be a big deal. I just think you're going to need Jared Vanderbilt's offense. Rui is one of the best playoff elevators, 55% from three. He is, but again, how much opportunity is he going to have, right? If D'Lo continues to thrive and being the clear-cut third option that he is, and LeBron James and Anthony Davis elevate and become more important and more focal on the offense, all of those things are going to take away from Rui. So yes, Rui may shoot 55%, but how much is he going to score a game in the starting unit? Again, I'm not saying in a bench role, he could probably go off for 20 plus. Because he'll have those opportunities. He's going to get the ball more. He's going to be able to be aggressive. He's going to be able to play with LeBron and alongside, or in place of LeBron and alongside LeBron. And you're going to be able to run certain spots, certain matchups. And you're going to be able to play Rui in spots. But in the starting unit, right, that first 5 to 6 minutes, it could be the difference between you winning or losing a game. Right? Like, look at the Denver series. Right? Almost every one of those games, we were behind. And then we were playing catch up the whole time, and then it was too late, and Denver just ran away with us, right? So how much of an impact, how much of an opportunity is Rui really going to get with a healthy LeBron, a healthy Anthony Davis, a healthy D'Angelo Russell, and a healthy Austin Reeves, when all four of those guys are going to be, hopefully, playing to the elite level? To me, you start with Jared Vanderbilt, and again, let's say D'Lo completely disappears. Well, then maybe you need to make that, maybe you make that change and you make that adjustment. Right? If Reeves just struggles and he's hot and cold, okay, maybe you make that adjustment. I just think you still need to stop people, and defense still is important, right? Like, defense still wins championships. I know many people point to Denver, but that is such an outlier compared to like the 75 years of history, right? Even in the modern era, I don't know how much offense Rui is going to be able to provide. Again, we won't know until we get there, right? Maybe Rui comes in and he's 15 points a game in the starting unit, and Lakers are just so good offensively that you can basically just inject the defense where need be. But there's also the possibility that teams are going to make adjustments, teams are going to make changes, right? Teams are going to be doing what they have to do to try to capitalize on. They have Rui Hachimura, who can't defend quicker, twitchier guys and isn't good at navigating screens, right? Like, let's exploit that. Austin Reeves, let's exploit that. D'Angelo Russell on the defensive side, let's exploit that. Now you have three guys that are going to get exploited on a regular basis. It's just, again, it's concerning. I don't think, it's look, if he goes with Rui, we'll see. Time will tell. And like I said, I think most matchups it'll be able to work. But is anyone comfortable with Rui defending again, in Minnesota, I think you get away with it. At Thunder, I think you get away with it. But do you really want Rui defending Paul George or Kawhi or Kevin Durant or, any of these guys that are out, even like an Andrew Wiggins, like I wouldn't be comfortable with Rui playing Andrew Wiggins because I mean we've seen what that guy can do. He was the second best player on Golden State going and winning a championship. Right? Like I had there's concerns there is my point. But anyway, appreciate you. See. Sorry, trying to find something to me. Teams will not guard Cam and Vando, which is fine. Again, that's fine. They're still going to have to worry about Anthony Davis, a healthy LeBron. Again, assuming everyone's healthy. You're still going to have to double team Anthony Davis, and they're going to double team Anthony Davis regardless. What are they going to be okay with? Trusting that Rui doesn't shoot the lights out and making Rui beat you, or Anthony Davis going one-on-one all game? No, they're going to pack. Teams are going to pack the paint regardless. They're going to play. They're going to defend it the way that they do regardless, right? Because their teams are more worried about LeBron James and Anthony Davis, right? But you trust that you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and teams did that last season. And guess what? It didn't work because why? You have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and that was them both injured. What do they look like healthy, right? Like I don't think leaving Vando in the corner is going to be as big. It wasn't an impact until we got to Denver anyway, which again was because nobody else was good offensively. D'Lo disappeared. LeBron wasn't himself. Anthony Davis had terrible offensive games, right? Like we had the whole hot and cold Anthony Davis and both guys injured and Jared Vanderbilt as a liability, and we ran through the first two rounds, right? Imagine everybody healthy. Imagine how good that looks healthy, right? Especially when everyone's elevating. Like, I'm not worried about it. Again, if it becomes a problem, you make that adjustment. But I'd rather trust that LeBron James and Anthony Davis are going to be LeBron James and Anthony Davis, postseason LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and that Austin Reeves gets slightly better. Like, I'm not even saying great. I'm just saying slightly better. And D'Lo, even if he drops, can just be like a 15-5 guy. I'd rather trust that and then go with the defense side. And then if you need to make the adjustments, you make the adjustments, right? And I mean that for anybody, right? If D'Lo starts falling apart, guess what? D'Lo, you're coming off the bench and Spencer Dinwiddie's starting, right? Like it should be like that for anybody. But I just think you go with the team that has the best balance, right? Our best 5-man unit is still the 5-man unit from last season. I don't think that that's a coincidence. In the playoffs, I want D'Lo, Spencer, Rui, Bron, 80 starting. I personally have been on team start Spencer Dinwiddie. Again, I don't care if you do it right now. But I think eventually you move him in there. Look, if this starting 5 keeps cooking the way it is, then Darvin Ham's going to stick with it. Right? He's going to want to keep it as much as possible. But I think, again, to me, it just depends on how everything shapes up, right, as we move through the season. If Spencer Dinwiddie kind of buys into that 6-man role, comes in, plays that role nicely, everyone's cooking, the offense is good, everything looks fine, then, why touch something that ain't broke until you need to fix it, need to correct it, which, again, like we'll see, right? If this starting 5 still works, then, Darvin Ham's going to go with it in come the postseason. But again, we'll see. It's not like we have this huge sample size with this. It's not like this has been our starting 5 the entire season where it's like, oh man, we're the 3 seed, right? We've only had a handful of games with the starting 5. And so, it's looked good so far. The offenses look good so far, but the defense hasn't been good, right? So, and I mean, the defense hasn't been good, period. A lot of that is because we have, our four out of our 5 best defensive players, but still, like, what does this look like? And again, it's not like we've played. So the last 5 games have been the Charlotte Hornets, the Pistons, and the Jazz, right? Like then you had the Nuggets and the Pelicans, right? Well, we lost to the Nuggets. The Pelicans we blew out and ran through, which was great. So you have like one playoff team that you ran through and beat. and then you have basically 3 of the top 7 worst teams in the league, right? How much of a sample size is that, right? Let's see what it looks like when we get to March, and our first 6 games. So like when we get to March, our first 6 games are the Nuggets, the Thunder, the Kings, the Bucks, the Timberwolves, the Kings, and then you play the Warriors again. So say your first 7 games are against like the top teams in the league, right? So it's like, how does it look then? Do we just end up getting ran through? Get down? Like, does it look great? Do we look good? Just things like, again, let's. I'm willing to let things play out and see where it goes. Kawhi Leonard plays every 4 games the last 3 years. He has not been a very good model of health. Good ending for first half of the season, yes, without a doubt. Every team has an assumed number of bad defenders, but how many teams have 4? Right? Like, again, you have D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, and LeBron. Does he lock down and engage defensively come the postseason? Maybe. But I mean, how many of the top contending teams have 4 liabilities on the defensive side? That's something you got to keep. Again, you got to be able to play both sides of the basketball. You got to find a nice balance. Team defense beats matchup hunting. Not if you're playing a good enough team, right? Like, again, Denver, we were the best defense in the league, and Denver ran through us like we weren't even there, right? Like, we got swept. We had the best defense in the league, best defense in the playoffs, and Denver just targeted us, matchup hunt the entire time, and swept us. So I would disagree that team defense, again, if you have multiple good defenders, we don't in the starting unit, right? If we had, if Rui, or if, say, LeBron was 27-year-old LeBron, then yeah, fine. It doesn't matter who the other ones are, because LeBron and AD on the defensive side, good luck, right? Or if we had, D'Lo was a good like a really good defensive player, then you probably get away with it. But when you have D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, and LeBron, how good is the team defense going to be? Why can't we waive Dylan Windler? People are going to get healthy. Too many guards. What if Vincent comes? Windler's on a 2-way. He's not on the actual roster. He's on a 2-way contract. And even if they waived him, you can't sign anybody for the roster. It doesn't work like that. Let's see. It's 2024. Offense matters more. I don't know. I don't know. Look at the top teams in the league right now. They're all top defensive teams. Postseason. I mean, outside of Denver, who has been the outlier, outside of Denver, all the teams that were in the Final Four were all the top defensive teams. Boston, Miami, and the Lakers were 3 of the top 5 defensive teams in the playoffs. Denver was the one outlier. So is it more likely that Denver is the outlier, or is it more that, like, that's the new norm? I mean, even the Warriors, when they won, were one of the best, if not the best defensive teams in the league. Yes, they were incredible offensively. They were one of the best defensive teams in the league. When the Lakers won the championship in 2020, one of the best defensive teams in the league. I believe that they were the best that year. Milwaukee, one of the best defensive teams in the league. Their offense was terrible in the playoffs. They shot like 28% or something like that off the top of my head. I know it was like high 20s or low 30s when they went on their championship run, right? So, I mean, literally the only team in the last like 10 years that has been the outlier is the Denver Nuggets. So is that the norm, or is that just one run? And we'll see if Denver can do it again, right? Like, Denver hasn't looked as good. They've had their struggles, right? So I wouldn't say offense necessarily matters more, especially when you get to the postseason. Trade LeBron for Embiid. it was on Palinka's mind what you say. I mean, that to me, I think, based on the report, it kind of like a smart response, right? They were like, "Hey, what about LeBron James?" And and they were like, "Nah, but would you trade us Joel Embiid?" Like, it's kind of like a bit of a clapback. It's kind of what it sounded like to me personally. I don't think it was like, "Oh, we're trading LeBron for Embiid." I just think Daryl Morey made a call that he knew what the answer was going to be. So Rob Palinka's on the phone and figured, well, might as well ask, right? Like, you want LeBron. Um, uh, Defense wins championships. Remember that. Don't believe that BS Denver pulled off. Yeah, like I said, they are literally they are the one outlier in the last ever. Right? Like, again, even the Warriors, as great and offensively as they were, do you know who the best offensive team in the league was last year? The Sacramento Kings. And what happened to them? Right? I'm pretty sure they were a first round exit, right? The Indiana Pacers have been historically good offensively this year. Does anyone think that they're winning the championship this year? They have been historically, I mean, all time great offensively. Does anyone think that they're winning the championship this year? Again, go look at the top teams in the league. They're all up there as like the best defensive teams. Let's see. Um, Sorry, trying to find something to me. Katie would torch Vando. I don't know. The stats say otherwise. I mean, look, Kevin Durant's gonna do Kevin Durant things, but to say torch Vando, I don't know. Would you trust Rui more than Jared Vanderbilt? Because that's the conversation. Even if you think KD torches Vanderbilt, if KD torches Vanderbilt, what is he gonna do to Rui? Let's see. Tyler is just so spot on right now. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, Rui would def make us unguardable, but it's not needed in a lineup that has four other dudes who need the ball. That's my question. Is like, what does he provide? Vando isn't guarding Kawhi, KD, etc. Again, the numbers back it up that he has. Does it again? He can't do worse than Rui? Talk about one of the best on-ball defense players in the league. You need players to force the other teams to play defense as well. Do the Lakers not have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, D'Angelo Russell, and Austin Reeves in the starting unit? Like, is Rui the one guy that all the teams are going to go, damn, man, woo, we didn't see that coming. Oh, man, let's just pack. No, they're going to run the same defensive schemes, whether Rui's on the court or Vando's on the court, because teams are going to trust, okay, is Rui going to score 50 points and beat us in a 7-game series? Or are we going to try to do everything we can to slow down LeBron James and Anthony Davis? Like, nothing's going to change in that regard. Like, it's not like teams aren't going to, like, Rui's going to be in the starting unit and teams aren't going to know how to handle it. Like they've never seen a 5-wide unit. They've never, like, we're not better than Denver in that regard. We're not better than the Warriors in their run. Teams have seen this. They're not, like, it's not going to be some big surprise. That's going to be some big shocker. Like, oh man, like, how do we deal with Rui and all these other guys? No, they're going to know how to deal with it. They'll look at it as like, hey, let's trust that they beat it. My thing is, at least if we can slow the other team down, right? Because if we're just trading buckets, guess what? These other teams have guys like Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Devin Booker, Paul George, Jamal Murray, Jokic, all these guys that if the games are tight, they can close, right? And I don't. Rui may be fantastic. How much of an opportunity is he going to get in the offseason? You're acting like Jared doesn't cripple our offense. It doesn't. It doesn't. He constantly gets to be an off-ball threat. He's the energy, the transition in the offensive game, the impact that he has, right? Shooting, yes. Is that a concern? Absolutely. Are teams going to just leave him in the corner? Absolutely. Teams are going to do that with Rui. They're doing it with Rui in the regular season, right? In some games, he pays, right? This game, guess what? Rui made them pay. But the last game, he was what? 0 of 4 from 3, right? Like, so yes, the games in which he makes them pay, great. But the games in which he doesn't, Vando had games like that in the postseason. Right? You still have to be able to stop other teams. For 90% of this game, or not 90%, let's call it 60%. 60% of this game was basically just back and forth, right? The Utah game that we just saw. It was back and forth. Utah even took the lead because we couldn't stop them. And then we just ran off with it, right? Hit a couple key shots, free throws, right? A couple big threes. They missed a couple shots, and boom, we were right there. We were off to the races, right? That, like, if that becomes the norm in the regular season, you're running a big risk to lose some games. Now, again, I'm not saying Jared Vanderbilt is the guy. It depends on what the other 4 guys are doing. If D'Lo is completely non-existent in the postseason and Reeves continues to struggle and he's hot and cold, and it's basically just LeBron James and Anthony Davis doing everything, then yes, you may need Rui Hachimura. But why? Like, if we're assuming that they're going to be terrible, then we're probably not winning regardless, right? We're probably not winning a championship regardless, right? So at that point, why does it matter? So let's go under the assumption that our team is going to be good. So what is the best balance to fix as many holes as possible, right? We have, again, assuming Austin Reeves is better. Andrew, I'll ask the question again. Do you believe LeBron James will be better in the playoffs than he is right now? Do you believe Anthony Davis will be better in the playoffs than he is right now? Right? In order to do that, they're probably going to get more touches, which would take away from somebody. D'Lo and Reeves are going to have the ball in their hands more, so it's going to take away from Rui. In the playoffs, how many shot attempts per game did Jared Vanderbilt have? Rui, why was he so impactful and have so much of an opportunity? Did he start? No, he came off the bench. Why? Because off the bench, he can have the green light to go. So for Rui's standpoint, where is he going to have more of an impact? In the starting unit, where he's only going to get sparing attempts per game, or the bench unit where he can basically just go off and you have the green light? Because again, teams are going to defend the Lakers the same way regardless. They're not worried about D'Lo, Reeves, and Rui beating them. They're worried about LeBron James and Anthony Davis dominating. Anthony Davis being the ultimate mismatch. That's what teams are worried about. That's what teams are going to plan their defensive schemes around. If D'Lo, Rui, and Reeves beat them, they'll live with that. Because teams are going to look at it as they're not going to beat us 4 straight times. But LeBron James and Anthony Davis can. And they're the guys that create the big plays and the momentum and all that stuff. Right? So again, I ask you, do you think LeBron and Anthony Davis are going to be better in the postseason? Just them. Let's remove Austin Reeves and D'Lo from the conversation. Just LeBron and AD. Do you think that they will be better in the postseason? Do you think LeBron and AD will be more aggressive in the postseason? Or do you think that they're just going to kind of just be chilling like they kind of are right now at times, right? Because I think LeBron James and Anthony Davis are going to elevate in the postseason and be more aggressive and seek more mismatches and opportunities and try to go and win this championship if they're healthy. Right? LeBron, not healthy, is going to have to navigate and get close. But let's assume that they're healthy. I am under the belief that they're going to be better and more aggressive. They're going to be better and more aggressive. That means less opportunity for everybody else, including D'Lo and Austin Reeves. And now Rui is the 5th guy in that rotation, 5th guy on that depth chart, who's probably only going to get a couple attempts per game. And he's also going to be a liability on the team. How many points do you think Rui Hachimura is going to score in the starting unit? Like, how many points do you think? Like, could he have a game where he goes and drops 30? Sure, of course. Right? But I'm talking about night in and night out. How much do you think Rui Hachimura is going to average game in and game out? Is it 10 points? Is it 15 points? If you think he's going to average 15 points in the regular season, then that means LeBron James and Anthony Davis aren't going to be better than they are right now. Because Rui's not even averaging that right now in the starting unit. So that's my problem. Like, it's just about the balance. Yes, I think they'll be better. Okay, perfect, Andrew. So if they're going to be better, somebody's going to have to be worse, or even collectively be worse, right? Because they're going to get more attempts. They're going to be more aggressive. They're going to be looking for their shots more, right? So that means they're going to be the main component that's driving the ship, because there are superstars. There are best players. Everyone else is second fiddle. So let's go down the pecking order. Okay, let's say LeBron and AD combined take 5 attempts, right? Say they take 5 attempts. More. I'm talking about more, right? 5 attempts more. Here, let's do this. Let's figure this out in real time. Here, Rui Hachimura. Rui this season, let's see how many attempts per game he is averaging. Let's do this in real time. So Rui is averaging, no, I need attempts. Rui is averaging 8.6 field goal attempts per game. Let's be nice and round it up to 10. So he's going to get 10 attempts per game. Let's say LeBron James and Anthony Davis in the starting unit, because they're going to be more aggressive to start games, get an extra 5 attempts in the starting unit. That's coming from somewhere, right? So again, I'm raising Rui's field goal percentage average. These games, right? LeBron, how many attempts did he take this game? He took like 20, right? Something like, I don't know how many he really actually took this game, but I know he took several. He took a bunch of attempts. He's not getting those attempts with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. He's just not, right? So let's say, again, 10 attempts. Even if he shoots 60% from the field on 10 attempts, let's say 2 threes, right? So there's 6 points, and then you have another 4 shots, so there's 8. So that's 14 points. Best case scenario, 60% from the field on 10 attempts, 14 points per game. More likely than not, let's say he drops 2 or 3 attempts, right? So let's say he drops 2 attempts. So now he gets 8 attempts. Say he still shoots 60%. Now he's averaging around 10 points. I think it's less than that. But let's say 10 points. Is his 10 points per game going to offset what he's going to give up on the defensive side of things? Because if he averages 10 points per game, right, then he has to at least keep the opponent from scoring 10 points for him, or his defense, the person he's defending, at least has to be 10 points better to break even. Is he going to give up that many points? Right? Again, Jared Vanderbilt, he does more than just defend. The hustle, the offensive rebounds, the defense, getting out in transition, pushing the pace, right? Keeping balls alive, sacrificing his body, right? The ground that he covers on the defensive side of things, right? It's not just him being one-on-one. I mean, look at that series against the Warriors. Look at those defensive sequences against Steph Curry. That was like Houdini-like. That was unbelievable. So, I mean, that's my thing, right? Like, how much is Rui going to score in the postseason? What spot are we in? We are still in 9th, unfortunately. 9th. Let's see. If Dinwiddie starts, Rui can start to offset the off course. It depends on the matchup. Yeah, I mean, at the end, again, I'm not worried about Rui against, the Timberwolves or the Thunder or something like that. You keep Rui and he'll be fine. He can hold his own against those guys, because those guys aren't good enough to really completely change a series. But guys like the upper echelon guys are more than enough to change a series. And that's my concern. It's the top of the teams. Rui makes Bron and AD's life so much easier than Jared Vanderbilt. Not necessarily. You're looking at it on the offense as an outlet to provide on the offensive side, right? You don't think Jared Vanderbilt's defense and the ground that he covers makes Anthony Davis's life easier when Anthony Davis doesn't have to be the only defensive stopper on the court? You don't think Jared Vanderbilt and his defense and defending the opposing team's best player doesn't make LeBron James' life easier? Because now they don't have to hustle as much. They don't have to defend as hard, right? They don't have to cover as much ground because you have a guy in Jared Vanderbilt. You don't think Jared Vanderbilt's defense doesn't help LeBron James and Anthony Davis and take pressure off of them and make their lives easier, especially Anthony Davis. Especially Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis is our most important player and our best player. Right? So Anthony Davis, we saw last year even, right? He had to do so much and cover so much on the defensive side of things when Vanderbilt wasn't in the game. Right? When the Lakers went from middle of the pack defensively to literally the number one defense with just Jared Vanderbilt. You don't think that made Anthony Davis's life easier? You don't think his hustle and energy and rebounding and getting out in transition doesn't make LeBron, who is one of the greatest we've ever seen in transition, you don't think that kind of stuff makes LeBron James' life easier? Of course it does, right? Like, yes, does Rui, if he's on and he's hitting, does he make their life easier because they have an outlet to kick it to? Sure. But again, I would argue Vando's does more because Vando covers more ground, right? Like Rui helping on the offensive side as a corner kick out is great, right? But LeBron James in the postseason, yes, he's going to find the open man, but if he's going to be more aggressive, he's going to be looking to draw that contact and finish through that traffic and go get his buckets, right? Like, and that's not even counting the outlier games. That's not counting how good Jared Vanderbilt has been off ball this season. He's been much better moving without the basketball. I don't think Jared Vanderbilt's going to be as non-existent offensively as people think he'll be. Right? I think he'll be, I'm not saying he's going to be, look, Rui's a better offensive player, without a doubt. Rui's going to be better offensively. But I just think the balance is better. And that's what it's about, finding the proper balance come the postseason. But again, look, Rui, if this unit still works great, then Darvin Ham's probably going to keep it, right? And we'll see how it plays out. Time will tell. Time will tell. But I appreciate you, Andrew. You know, I love these conversations. You guys know I love these little back and forth, these little debates, you know. But default to my shirt. To save time, let's assume I know everything. What do people don't understand? But no, I appreciate you guys. Right. All right, let's power through a couple more of these because it's getting late. I need to start setting up for some stuff. Plus, I'm tired. I didn't get much sleep last night. So, idiot comfortable, perfect fit yet says a lot. And we don't need just his scoring to make great basketball plays and sees the floor with passes so much. Yeah, dude, he's going to be huge. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. LeBron would be stupid to leave. He's not leaving. Never say never, right? I don't like to speak in definitives, but I would be genuinely shocked if that's what happened. Tyler, what is your explanation of LeBron putting out the hourglass? I just think it's LeBron James just stirring the pot. Like, I don't think that there really was that much to it. You know, I mean, maybe it was symbolic in a sense to him. Like, he only has so much time left, right? If I had to guess, that's probably what it is. Like, hey, man, like, guys, I only have so much time left in my career. But I don't think it's like a lot of people are like dissecting that. Like, it's this like huge otherworldly, like, oh, he must have meant like LeBron just says and does stuff sometimes. Tyler, what do you think about a collab with Lakers Nation, Trevor Lane? Look, I've said it, I get asked this a lot, which I think is great. It's great. Look, I love Lakers Nation. They're awesome. I would love it. I would welcome it. I'd be more than happy to jump on it. Like I said, I don't even know if they know I exist or not. I don't know if I'm even on their radar, right? They're the big guys in this space, right? So it's very possible that, you know, that he just doesn't even know who I am. But look, if you want to, you know, tell him when he's doing a live stream or something, like, hey, get Tyler from As It Stands Lakers on. If he reaches out and he wants me on, I'd be more than happy to do it. I would love it. I'd love to have conversations, little debates, whatever he wants to do, right? Just talk, have fun, have a good time. I am all for that 100%. Now, I would love it. I would welcome it. I'm not going to invite myself on, right? Because you just don't invite yourself to someone else's house. So I'm not going to do all that. But, if he wants me on, or, if he wants to come on here or whatever, I would absolutely love it. So yeah, like I said, let him know. Let him know. And if he reaches out, great. D'Lo, Dinwiddie, Braun, Vando, AD. That's my preferred starting five. Also, who would you compare Vincent to prior to injury? That's tough. I mean, I think the easiest comparisons are like George Hill, Avery Bradley, guys like that, like the 3-and-D style guards. I've even said he's not as quick and athletic as Dennis Schroeder is, but I think he's more consistent. I think he's a more consistent Dennis Schroeder. Personally. The issue with Vando is how Denver got us last year, how they played him offensively, which allowed them to pack in AD, and it didn't help that Braun, D'Lo, and AD was playing injured. Which, yeah, again, but that's my point, right? When the Vando was fine the first two rounds because the offense was clicking. Austin Reeves is cooking, D'Lo's hitting shots and playing well. LeBron was doing his thing, and AD, even though he was kind of hot and cold roller coaster, he was still good. He was good enough. But as soon as all that stopped, Jared Vanderbilt became a liability. But my thing is if all that stops, it's not going to make a difference anyway, right? If we started Rui last year, I don't think it changes the outcome of that series. I just think it was Denver's year. We didn't have the answers. Didn't have the answers, Sway. All right, I'm going to power through a handful more of these questions. I'm going to get on out of here. If Vando comes off the bench in the playoffs, don't even bother playing him at that point. I mean, you can make that argument. I think it depends on assignments and spots, right? It's good to have him kind of as a specialty guy in spots. Like I said, I just think it depends on the matchup. I think it depends on who you're playing. I think there's several factors, in my opinion, that kind of dictate that. He might miss the entire season still. We're not out of the woods yet in that regard, but we'll see. By now I'm hoping you understand by now because I've explained it now 3 times. Again, if everybody else is going to elevate in the postseason, if you believe LeBron James and Anthony Davis are going to be better offensively in the postseason, more aggressive, more dominant than they are in the regular season, then that alone offsets. That alone makes for less of a liability because now you need even less offense, but you need more defense. Let's see. Oh, come on. Why is thing being difficult? So we'll see for the East in the championship, Bucks, Celtics, or Knicks. Are the Sixers even regarding it? I don't. I think personally, and this is just me, I think the 2 best teams in the East are the Celtics and then the Knicks if they're healthy. Knicks healthy, I think they're going to be tough. They'll be real tough. Once they get everybody back, they'll be good. Denver consistently beats us in the fourth, though. Doesn't matter if it's close. We just got to get over the hump. Yeah, but that's the thing, though. Almost every single game has gone the exact same way. They start out with a lead. They basically coast the rest of the way. Lakers get back into the game, and then they just close out in the fourth. Or they close out late in the fourth. It's happened almost every single game. So it's not so much that Denver is just beating us in the fourth. They're beating us in the first, and then weathering the storm, and then just closing out at the end. So they're killing us in the start of games. That's a big issue. As long as Jamal Murray doesn't become Kobe, that's an excellent point. Dude, every time the Lakers play or Denver, Jamal Murray is Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant mixed in on one. You got us over the Clippers if we have to see them in the postseason. I do. I think that they're gonna have. I think that they have no answer for Anthony Davis. I know Vu or Zoo. He can be a big body, but Anthony Davis, that's barbecue chicken, especially postseason Anthony Davis. I think that they still don't have an answer for LeBron. I think those two are going to be good. I like our depth better. I think we're bigger overall. James Harden is what does he look like in the postseason? His entire career, he's just known to just completely disappear. Paul George is known to disappear at times in the postseason. Can they stay healthy? It's just again with the Clippers, it'd be foolish to say that they're not scary. Could they beat us? Absolutely. They have a ton of talent on that team. That team is ridiculous. It's just they're like that every year for the last 10 years. They've been that team. Literally. Every year they're like the best team in the league and they're supposed to win the championship. And this year's their year. To me, it's one of those things like I will not believe in them until I say if it's in the first round, maybe I'll be a little scared. If we're in the second round, Lakers are winning that. Lakers are beating them in the second round. Because those guys cannot get over the second. Matter of fact, the way the Nuggets look and someone else might knock them off in the playoffs. That's kind of my hope. The Lakers, if somebody else beats Denver in the postseason, I think the Lakers win. Vando is like their most valuable player. We need him in the starting lineup. He guards the other team's better players and takes a lot off of LeBron. I think he takes a ton off of LeBron and AD. Again, it's about that balance. Balance. It doesn't matter if he scores, though. He spaces the floor, makes us respectable, and you can't help off of him like you can with Ben. Again, they're not going to. They didn't care. Teams didn't care last season, and Rui Hachimura shot 55% from three. Teams weren't running out on him. They were playing defense the exact same way. And I'm not saying Rui was in the starting lineup, but when he was on the court with the starters, they didn't care. They were letting him take wide open shots. It doesn't spread the floor. It doesn't. I mean, it does space the floor naturally, but teams aren't going to challenge it. They're not going to care. They're going to care about packing the paint. They're going to trust that Rui, D'Lo, and Reeves can just shoot the lights out. Every team did that in the last postseason. They're not going to change it. Teams do that now in the regular season. It's going to be even bigger in the postseason. Right? Whether it's Rui, whether it's Vanderbilt, whether it's whomever, they're not going to be like, oh, well, Rui's in the starting lineup, so let's just let Anthony Davis and LeBron James go one-on-one all game. Let's not pack the paint when LeBron James and Anthony Davis is 90% of their offensive possessions are going to come 10 feet in. Right? No, teams are going to be okay with letting Rui blow them out. Denver was leaving guys like wide open all series. They were worried about LeBron James and Anthony Davis, right? Like, I just don't. Teams aren't going to be like, oh, now Rui's in the game. We're just not going to pack the paint anymore, right? Now, look, if Rui shoots the lights out and it becomes a trend, then yes, teams will have to make the adjustment, of course, right? If Rui's 8 of 10, right, it's like, okay, we got to get out there, right? Maybe we'll keep an eye on him next game, right? But like, how many games is Rui going to go off and give you 30 in the starting unit? Probably not going to give you that many. You know, I'm not saying he won't have a game here and there. Sure. I've been more pleased with Jax than Wood these past games. Jackson has looked really good on the both sides of the basketball. Again, to me, it's like Jackson or Christian Wood. A lot of it to me is just he's not utilized correctly by Darvin Ham. Let's see. Would you rather lose a close series in the Western Conference Finals or make it to the finals and lose to Boston? I would, to be honest, I'd rather lose in the Western Conference Finals. Like, I mean, obviously, as teams, you want to go as far as well, but like, I would be so upset. Not even Boston, even if we lost to anybody, right? I would be so mad if we made it to the NBA Finals and lost. right? Like, I'll be mad if we lose regardless. But when we get to the conference finals, you can be like, well, I guess we weren't good enough. We just couldn't get over the hump, right? Like, like last year, it sucked. We were frustrated, but it was just like, all right, Denver's the best team. Like, clearly, they're the best team. It's their year. They're going to win. But it's like you get to the finals, it's like we were there. We had it. 4 wins. Like, I don't know. Just me personally and like my mental, I would rather just not have to go through the emotions of, dang, we just lost in the finals personally. So I would rather lose to anybody in the conference finals than lose to anybody in the finals, even Boston or anybody. But anyway, I'm going to end the stream there. Going like an hour and 40 minutes. I appreciate all of you. Thank you all so much for the discussions. The back and forth, the debate. I love this stuff. I genuinely do. I really do. I appreciate you guys. Like I always say, whether we agree, whether we disagree, it's fun. It's good fun. It's something it's good fun. It's good entertainment. Right? I enjoy having these conversations. I have these conversations regardless. So I do. I really do. I love it. I appreciate y'all. Just sitting here shooting it with me, right? Again, you guys are awesome. But everyone that join the live stream, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Join these conversations. I know we have like 8 days off, so I'll sprinkle a couple live streams for us to just talk, to have fun throughout those days. I'm not going to take a week off of live streaming, so probably take a day or 2 off, right? Just to recruit. We've had a lot of back-to-backs on the live stream factor, but yeah, I'll definitely we'll get a couple live streams going, over the next 8 days. But yeah, again, I like I said, I really do appreciate y'all hanging out with me. You guys are awesome. And yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on the way out. Everyone that gave me super chats, again, thank you so much, Andrew. Appreciate you. Bobby, appreciate you guys. Thank you all so very much. See you all in the next one.